that is more entrepreneurial in spirit. Traditional, we're all strapped. We're all strapped. But there are people who want to give, and I think we haven't done a fair enough job of reaching out to those individuals and working with them to create initiatives where they can donate their time, their money directly to us to help fund education.
Thank you. And we'll move on to Mr. Donahoe.
Yep. The Constitution of the state of Washington says it is the paramount duty of the state to fund basic education. Paramount meaning comes first before everything else. That has not been done. I understand there are hard times, but it is not the case. The Richland School Board is going to take a $5 million hit from the state, basically passing on to us how to deal with that hit. They have increased our levy amount, or levy lid, if you will, so we can go back out and ask for more money on a local level. But it's still not the right thing to do. The state has not done its job, put us in a bad position. But to deal with that, we are having to go through budget situations right now, budget reviews, dealing with classroom size. A lot of the initiatives that funded reduction in classroom sizes have been done away with. So we're looking at larger classrooms. We're also looking at reducing the admin staff and trying to get teachers in the classroom. In the classroom, with the kids, with the students, with the teachers, that's where the focus needs to remain. We also want to have extracurricular activities. I know myself growing up in different high schools across the country, I was not a great student. I needed a hook to get involved in my schools. I did sports. I did 3 seasons a year. It's what got me involved in my individual schools and what pulled me through. So again, the state has failed us. They've pushed it down to us. We're going to have to deal with it the way it is now. Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll finish up this question with Mr. Comfort.
Thank you. I echo many of the thoughts of my comrades up here. I do think that the state raising the levy lid was so nice of them. So to decrease our funding, raise the lid, how pleasant, in order for us to tax our local people, and I don't believe in that. A couple things that I do feel that, piggybacking on what has been said and to further the conversation, I would say that it's paramount of the school board to ensure that the inefficiencies within the budgets are eliminated. When I was principal of Richland High School and in my current position with Goodwill, I ensure that the budgets are transparent, that all the stakeholders have the transparency available, have the budgets available to them so they can study them and not only hold the school board, for example, accountable or hold me accountable, but also to provide opportunities for growth or to remove those inefficiencies. So it'll allow the public to look at the budget and say, well, why can we cut here, can we cut there? Removing those inefficiencies, I think, is key to a healthy budget. And I'd just like to say one more thing. There's been one constant in the Richland School District that has really done an excellent job of keeping the Richland School District in the black. His name's Rich Puryear, and he's the finance director of the district. And he has done a commendable job in the last 11 or 12 or so years to really keep us in good position, and I'm glad to have him on. And with cutting out these inefficiencies, I think we can maintain the awesome programs of the Richland School District. I'm sure of that. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll start with you, Mr. Donahoe, and this is a question from the audience, and you can interpret it how you might like. What do you least like about the school district, and what will you do to fix it?
Oh my.
Least like about the district. There is a lot of paperwork that comes forth from a lot of people, and that takes effort to deal with. That's just the reality of what it is. What I least like probably is the how we are currently dealing with the demographic change in the district. 6 years ago, 19% of the population was available for free and reduced lunch. That number has grown up to 32% overall. Some schools have 60%. A focus area of mine is trying to find ways to deal with those kids who are in some level of poverty. It worries me when children are afraid to go home after school because they don't know who's going to be there to take care of them. The schools cannot be the social net to catch all these students. We have 2 churches that have partnered with schools. Seventh-day Adventist Church has partnered with Jason Lee to provide funding for after-school programs, food for the weekend, clothing during cold weather. Westside Church has focused on doing a tutoring program that Phyllis Strickler has set up for early morning tutoring and free lunch. I worry about those kids, and we want to hopefully do a private school partnership to take care of those children.
Thank you. And Mr. Comfort?
Yeah. What don't I like, huh? I feel that the Richland School District really is a great district. Having come from different states and coming from different districts within our state, the Richland School District really does stand out as an exemplary district. So finding areas of improvement, while not hard, I want to make sure that I say that before I go on. I do feel that there can be an improvement in accountability, mostly fiscally, but also with regard to student achievement. Finding ways to measure that student achievement besides the HISP test and the state test, but finding ways to measure that fairly, I think, is an important job of the school board. And finally, I think I've been in school in this business of education for a while. The pendulum swings back and forth, and it recently was in the site-based, and that didn't work very well. We were site-based, building by building decision-making. Then it swung. I feel that it's swinging all the way to the other side where it's centrally based, and that's not fair either. Happiness is in the middle. That's where innovation happens. Innovation happens at the building level with the teachers and the administrators collaboratively working together, because that's where the rubber hits the road. That's where the understanding is. That's where the most education is in that building. And so as a school board member, I want to ensure that as we watch that pendulum swing, that we ensure that it stays close to that middle, because that's where we really need to focus our efforts, is to ensure that the policies and procedures and the decisions that we make allow teachers and administrators at the building level to work together.
Thank you. And Ms. Nagel.
During World War II, the school was the site of the community. The community came together and used the school as a support system for all the families where, quite frankly, it was mostly fathers were gone fighting the war. Laundry was done, children were taken care of, meals were served. It was a place of support. This is not a criticism of Richland or the Richland School District. It's more of a plea that we return to the school as a support in more than just the educational venue of building family in the community. My early research was on risk and resiliency, and one thing we know is children are much more resilient if they have role models in the community who are not in their family, who believe and support them, and the school can provide that environment to foster success amongst the children. I believe one area that the Richland School District could expand is in the area of building cultural competency. I'm not sure that we've taken advantage of the indigenous peoples and learning about the history of the communities in this region.
Thank you. Because these fine candidates have taken up their allotted time for answering questions and opening statements, it's time to move on to the closing statements. And we'll go in reverse order of the opening statements, and that means that we will start with Mr. Donahoe.
I want to thank the coalition, the League of Women Voters, for having us and hosting us tonight. Very nice of you. The focus of the Richland School District is student learning. Our teachers should be setting high expectations and standards for all of our students. Our students need to learn to become critical thinkers. We owe our students, each one of them, our very best. As a member of the school board, I owe the taxpayers and the citizens well-run schools, properly maintained facilities, and financial responsibility and effective use of our resources. I'm Rick Donahoe again, running for position 3. I want to continue the work that I've started, and I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll move on to Ms. Nagel.
I have no key issues. All I want to bring to the table is an understanding of the research, an understanding of best practices. I want to bring support for the quality educators we already have here and provide them the freedom to teach our children in ways that we know work. I'm here to support the teachers. I'm here to support the students. More importantly, I'm here to support the families. I want us to continue to be on the cutting edge of education. Delta High School, the partnership in creating Delta High School is just one example of what we can do when the community comes together. I think we can do the same with the rest of our schools, provide the opportunity for children to learn in different ways.
Thank you. And I haven't forgotten Mr. Comfort.
All right, thank you. Again, thank you for being here, and also thank you for those that have volunteered their time to put this event together. I appreciate it tons. I would also like to thank Rick Donahoe, the incumbent of the on the school board here. He really has done an excellent job, and he's a good person. And so I just want to say that. As I've traveled as a Richland School District employee around the state, in Spokane and Seattle and Tacoma and Wenatchee and Yakima and different places, without fail, there has been someone that has said to me, wow, your students are excellent. They're well-mannered, they're smart, they're athletic, and they'll go down the line. And I look forward to being able to continue working in such a place with excellent students and excellent parents. I do think that it's time for creative solutions and allowing innovation to happen. And that innovation happens as the school board makes decisions that make sense. They take the politics out of it, and they don't allow the adults in the room to get in the way of the children. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to remind you one more time of the 4 people running for this office. Dave Sorrell, who is not here tonight, Gordon Comfort on my far right, and next to him is Elizabeth Nagel, or Liza Nagel, and Rick Donahoe is on my left. And so thank you very much for coming and participating, and good luck in the election. I hope you enjoy the process.
Thank you. Thanks.